and welcome to IABM TV. Today I'm delighted to be joined by Chuck Buelow, VP of Business Development at eMAM Inc. Chuck, welcome to IABM TV.
Hi, great, thank you. Great to be here.
So Chuck, how do you see eMAM with the increasing movement to the cloud?
Yeah, it's been interesting. Traditionally, MAM systems are more of like, forklift. You kind of bring in a bunch of servers, big capital expense, a lot of programming and things like that. So we've actually taken our development and so on and moved that up to the cloud. And Anoop Thomas, our director of technology, has done a great job and his team moving the basically the full element of the MAM system up to the cloud. Making it very easy for someone just to turn on a system now in a MAM system and then be able to deploy it very quickly, zero capital expense, more on a monthly basis. Our emamcloud.com site, you can go in and within an hour, you could have a full enterprise MAM system up and running. And so it could be as simple as a intelligent archive. We use AI technology from the various services. So you can basically auto tag all your media and so on, and then have all your archived media available and sharing. And then quickly you could also start doing producing with production within Adobe Premiere, Final Cut, and Avid as well, all within a matter of hours. So the movement, I think, where traditionally we were spending months of development and building a MAM system and so on, the eMAM platform is very simple and easy to kind of migrate over to the cloud, get turned on in an hour or so, you're up and running. But then you also still have options to also connect with on-premise SAN and local storage as well. So I think that is our big push now and moving forward into the cloud.
Okay, so Chuck, we're both doing this interview from each of our homes at the moment. How can eMAM help users who are working from home?
Yeah, it's been interesting. So a lot of our clients that were on-prem all of a sudden gave us calls. We were getting left and right calls about actually making it available for users to be able to edit from home or produce and deliver media and so on. So what we've basically done is, connected with cloud, Amazon, with Microsoft, Google, IBM Cloud, and so on, all the different platforms made the media available and connecting to the media up in the cloud. We can put storage up in the cloud very quickly for them to actually access, share media, and then of course also edit remotely. We're using technology like Lucid Link, for example. They give you the ability to kind of share media and stream media from an S3 bucket. So I could open up Adobe Premiere, Final Cut Pro right now and start editing quickly and streaming the media live without even downloading the media as well. Now, we also give them the option, as I mentioned before, to kind of share with the local SANs as well and connect with the local SANs. So currently we have one of our larger customers up in Canada doing this now, where remote editors are actually logging into the eMAM system and then sharing either media locally or up in the cloud as well. So the platform becomes very simple and easy to kind of deploy. We also have other customers right now in multiple countries as well. So they have multiple locations here in the States and then a couple international where they're able to see all that media, share all that media, and either migrate to the cloud or move it and connect locally, but then also share that media. But eMAM gives you that platform gives you that ability to kind of share and spread out the wealth of all the media of it and make it available to everyone.
So Chuck, why is media management even more important today then?
Well, I think most people, what happens is everybody's shooting everywhere around the world. So all this video is coming in from around the world, no matter what the subject is, if it's simple commercials or protests around the world or whatever, and displaying a message. So it's shot everywhere and so on. But how do you manage all of that? So the idea of shot in Australia and Singapore, London, wherever you might be, how do you make that available? And having platforms rather than shipping drives basically to a central location for everybody to edit from or move those files or copy those files, where they're actually uploading to one location, let's say in the cloud. So the idea would be is at that point, everybody then has access in managing that capability of movement and organization of that media, makes it available worldwide. And so I think the MAM systems are becoming more and more important now. And as I mentioned earlier, with an eMAM cloud system, the capital expense to do this, it can be done in hours and, at a monthly charge. So quite easy to do.
So with all of this sort of remote working, there must be a big requirement for integration with other systems. How does eMAM play with other applications, Chuck?
Well, we've got a great API. So again, our technology that we built as a platform, 80 to 90% of the system is all ready to go. In typical systems, I've been in the industry for a long time, so I've kind of seen it to where we always huddle the programmers to come up with a feature, and we wait 6 months and then it comes out. Whereas here, most of that's already played and built. We do have a great API, a RESTful API. We work with other companies like, say, Dell Boomi, for example. This is a third-party kind of integrator where then they connect with InMotion and Salesforce and other types of applications. So that connection now is quite easy to do, and then be able to then integrate with all those third-party products, team management systems, Salesforce, billing systems, things like that, automation systems for delivery. Those doors are now open through our eMAM gateway, and quite easy to actually integrate with. So we have many partners across the board, from storage to automation systems to different types of management platforms and things like that. Metadata, sharing metadata across multiple platforms. It's all there, and the gateway basically makes it easy with our RESTful API, making it easy to connect and go from there. So quite easy to connect with us.
Okay, and how about artificial integration technology? Do you support that as well?
We do, and we have for quite a while. So several years when Watson, IBM Watson, Amazon Recognition, Microsoft came out with all the different types of AI technology. And so the idea really was, how do we connect with them and then share the media and then get back all that data? And so the idea really is, we shared like proxy files quickly with them. They take the audio, they take the video, and then be able to pull out facial recognition, speech to text, logos, scenes, like boats or grass or sunny day and things like that. Virtually in a matter of minutes, you could upload all your stuff to these AI services, get back all the data, and within a matter of minutes, you're actually searching for virtually anything you need. So, a lot of our companies, they do a lot of B-roll shots. So they go, hey, you know what, I needed that shot of that park. And so they go through all the file systems. Well, with AI, they can just go type in blue sky, green grass, and trees, and they get every shot of the park or whatever it might be. So AI is really, really important, and quite affordable as well. It's pennies on the minute to actually get all this data back in, and it's an automatic tag. And simply you run through the process, get the data back into the eMAM system, and just type in a quick search, and you've got it. So AI is really, really important to us as well right now.
Excellent. And so you've mentioned quite a lot of the benefits there, Chuck, but if I had to press you for what do you think is the single most outstanding thing about eMAM, which makes it so unique and successful?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, like I said earlier, was, the system itself is built, for the most part, everybody who needs like a MAM system, most of the features are all there. So there's really this back-end programming. There might be like about 15% of the workflow design that you need to do at the end. But we come together with our clients, we work through all the workflows and add that capability. But the platform's set for the most part. The back-end design for the ability to add watch folders, different types of workflows, scheduled workflows, metadata change workflows, little buttons to push to turn on an event or some kind of action. It's all there, and it's all menu driven. That's quite unique as well. The interface itself is HTML5, and you can quite easily, design your own interface, or the user, we have these little things called what we call widgets, and those widgets are very specific to a function, and they just take a widget and design their own interface for it. Most cases, everybody's kind of locked in, and we have this open interface, for somebody to design their own, layout and everything in workspace. So that's really unique, I think, about us.
Okay, and so does eMAM have an easy way to build cost efficiency workflows, Chuck?
Yeah, I think when most customers that we talk with, they come in and they say, well, I have this department that does a certain thing, And so it triggers, and what we do is we find that common denominator and say, is a metadata change? Is it something that, an event scheduled and things like that? That workflow is quite easily done with, using like the menu-driven workflow designer that we have. And so anybody really on an admin side could come in, whiteboard what they're looking for, and then basically lay that out in a workflow through a menu-driven, system without having to bring in all the programmers and, designing XML files and programs and all this kind of stuff. It's all there. But the nice thing about it as well, like I said before, our API integration with all these other third-party products, also that integration is quite simple to integrate with as well, and not very costly in hours of development time. So.
Okay, and so Chuck, let's talk archiving. So the pandemic we're currently in has shown why it's important to always have your media centralized cloud-based deployment. How easy is it to move eMAM to the cloud?
It's quite easy. So most of the media itself is stored somewhere. We've had it to where multiple drives on a shelf and things like that. So there's video shot, camera shot, and so on. So the idea to actually turn on an archive system, as I mentioned through eMAM, our emamcloud.com site, I could turn on that and then upload within hours all of that media, centralize it. But the nice thing about the cloud platforms is they give the expansion of a worldwide access to that media. Also the auto tagging that you would have, an organizational structure that you can apply within the eMAM system. It makes it quite easy to find material, download that material if you need it, or just send a quick link to you and anybody else that would like to kind of view maybe a proxy of a file, and so on. But the archive and the auto tagging of AI automation, auto tagging of that, takes that media and adds more value to it. So if you've got all these shots, these B-roll shots and so on of great material, I could quickly just go ahead and find it and then be able to download it and use that.
Okay, so finally, Chuck, what future developments are planned for the eMAM platform?
Yeah, so currently we've just now added live on-premise and in the cloud as well. So if you've got live events that are happening, you can actually capture coming in and then edit that material as it's coming in and start sending out to broadcast or VOD sites or even social media as well. So you have that capability. We've just now added deployment of a live system in the cloud, in a private cloud environment as well. So the idea really is you can cut and edit while it's coming in. We've just now added Final Cut Pro extension. So the idea of being able to go ahead and search within the MAM system, find that media, bring it in and import it into your production is quite easy to do through the extension. And it looks exactly like Final Cut. So, the extension looks, very similar to Final Cut's, no changes and different designs and so on and so on. But it is a view into the eMAM system with that video as well. We'll continue to build also on cloud deployment, making it quite easy to, remote edit. That's really what's key for us right now. As I mentioned, LucidLink, Teradici as well, we're working with them in sharing media and being able to share the media worldwide, but then also go in and be able to just do remote edits from anywhere, virtually anywhere. LucidLink, as I mentioned, they actually give you that streaming capability from an S3 bucket, so there's no downloading capability, downloading functions there as well. So a lot of that will keep pushing forward on the live edits, live captures, and again, all the edit in production. But also we're looking at more integration with automation systems to do delivery for VOD, and social media and things like that. So we have like Zapier integration. We'll continue to build on that. So the idea really is, if you think about it, eMAM Cloud and setting up all the material up in, or the media up into, into the cloud-based system, everybody edits from the cloud and everybody distributes from the cloud. And how easy is that? So with very little capital expense in the beginning, maybe a little setup time and so on, but then on a monthly basis, you're, going forward with a complete enterprise management system.
Okay, well, Chuck, thank you very much for joining us today.
All right, thank you. Glad to talk to you.
You can find out more about everything we've discussed with Chuck today at emamsolutions.com. buelow.com.